Hello and welcome everybody to the Dating Without Nipples podcast, where we go topless, taking the top off of the lie of unworthiness, showing what we've really got, our unique gifts, our skill sets, all of the things that we've developed from our incredible, distinct, unique journeys, celebrating our courageous, inspired selves. I am so excited, everyone, to have with me today Barbara Beckley. And Barbara is the CEO of Diamond Factor LLC. She is a 3-time international Amazon best-selling author, purpose strategist, and social media personality. Barbara's mission to empower women to understand their PPD, that's their purpose, passion, and drive, and not let the storms in their lives be their identity, but to understand the real inner purpose so they can shine like diamonds in their personal and business life. Barbara's list of services include personal development webinars, training, individual coaching, and social media content. Barbara, thank you so much for being in this conversation today.
Thank you. I am so just like over the moon. I'm just so glad that I'm finally able to make it. And thank you, because I'm honored to be on your show, Lise. Thank you so much.
So excited. So tell me a little bit about how you got to, I know what you call the diamond lifestyle, and PPD, your purpose, passion, and drive. I know
Yes.
there's a good story behind that. Would you share the personal journey piece so we can get a little bit of background?
Sure. Like you said, uncovering ourselves today. So, and I never mind doing that, because I always tell people that your stories are so unique, so genuine, that it's going to help so many people. And I want people to really realize that. I like to say that first, because a lot of times I know it's nervousness when people are like, should I tell that story? Should I tell them about me? Should I tell them what happened here? And I'm like, I know it might take time because there's might be some hurt behind it. But in the long run, just let everybody know, people connect with you, and you're helping so many others in on their journey of what they're doing. So with mine, my mission, my PPD happened way at the beginning when I was 9 years old, and I'm aging myself here. But I'm a glad age of 52 right now, since I'm really proud of my age now, because I wouldn't have been, in some cases, I wouldn't have been here. And I say that because going back to my childhood, I was, and that's a lot going on right now too in the world, is I was bullied. I was bullied in school. Children used to just talk about me. They used to talk about fat, I was ugly, I would never amount to anything. They said I had something wrong with me, but I was very shy. I was a very shy young little girl. So sometimes when you're shy, people and children don't understand that, they're going to think something's wrong with you. And children, they can be mean at the age race, especially when they don't understand. So at that time, they were like, just every day I would just be taunted, saying, why are you here? You're all this stuff. But, there's always people in your life that come in and that they save the day mentality. And I had 3 occasions where people told me, Barbara, don't let, those sounds, the sound that you're hearing, those voices that you're hearing telling you that you're so, ugly and not smart or anything, but you are. You are very smart, you're intelligent. So the first time, my teacher, so I still today love her to death, because she's the one that came to me and said, I don't want you letting the children tell you differently. You are smart. You are knowledge. You're just a diamond in the rough. You're just getting molded. And things are, you have to, things in life is building you. And this is going to build you to that point where you're going to become this beautiful, beautiful diamond that you are inside. And just remember that. So she's the first one that told me about me being a diamond in the rough. Now, I always tell people, I was like, okay, I like diamonds. At that time, you're 9, 10, you just know that diamonds are pretty, they shine. You don't know what they go through before that shine happens. And that's when I was getting older, that's when I understood about the diamond story. So with that, I used to go home every day from school after she would give me that courage, but it still hurt. It still hurt. I didn't have that many friends, and just hearing that every day. And my dad, which he is, I always, till this day, he's my rock of my world. He used to see, and he's like, Barbara, he used to give me the biggest hugs, the biggest bear hugs, and tell me how important I was, how special, how beautiful I was. And he said, you're just like a diamond in the rough. So I'm like, did my teacher and him talk? Where is this coming from? It's like, wait a minute, I just heard that. Now he's saying that. I said, okay. Some, second time. And he used to, always be there for me. I mean, he was just awesome in my life. And he really gave me that energy to say, okay, I'm going to keep, doing what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep going to school, keep doing what I have to do education wise. One thing about it, I was shy and the kids would, bully me, but it never stopped me from getting my education because my dad would push me and say, whatever you have, knowledge is power. And I really want you to understand that, Barbara, and just get through your classes, ask the questions that you have to ask, even if it's, to your teachers, and if you don't want to do it in front of the children. Because at that time I was so shy, I didn't want to speak up because if I feel like I asked a question, they're already talking about that I didn't know anything. But, having the right teachers around, having my dad around helped me out to move up. And then at the age of 17, this is the third time with the diamond in the rough where unfortunately my father, the rock of my life, the one that used to always look at the Wizard of Oz movies with me because I love the Wizard of Oz and used to sit and watch with me every time. I think one day we seen it like 10 times and he still had a smile on his face. He was like, and I, if I was like, I'd be like, okay, I'm tired of watching this movie. But he would do it because he knew that I liked it and he would, be there for me because I was the only child. So he was, he was like my brother, sister, everything to me. And but in this situation, and I still remember the date, 1985. It was a week before Thanksgiving, and a call came in because at that time mother and father was separated. They got a divorce, and the call came in to my mother, and it was the police telling her that they found my dad murdered in his apartment. Yes, and the thing about it was she answered the phone and the first thing I heard from her mouth was, oh my God, how am I going to tell my daughter this? So, I'm thinking 17, listening to my mother in the room. I'm like, what is she talking? I just sensed something, but I was like, okay, what's going on? So she came to me. My mother's type of mother was like, she didn't like hold anything. She wasn't like the mother, like, okay, come here, let me sit you down and let me tell you this thing. She was like, boom, right in your face, mother. And she basically said, okay, Barbara, you need to come in the room. I need to tell you something. And I was like, okay, because I was waiting, I heard something. So I'm in the room. I was like, what's going on? Well, the police just called and they just told me that they found your father dead in his apartment. I mean, just the way she just did it like that. I just was like, what? I just, all of a sudden I felt my blood was just draining out of my body. And I just felt like I was just standing there like, I don't know. The whole world, I just felt everything just collided. So when she told me that, seconds later, I just ran in my room, closed the door real hard. I mean, I shut the door. I was like, he woman, just boom, and just really just tore up everything in my room. And a lot of people asked me till the day, they said, Bar, why were you tearing up things in your room? Why aren't you just sad? I couldn't believe you just wasn't just crying or, and I said, because I was angry at the world. I felt like the world took my rock, my diamond. I thought, he was my diamond, and just said, you know what? That's it. Here you go. You're left here with, without that. And to the point where when I was in my room and I was going hysterical and everything, I calmed down. My mother had to call 911 and the paramedics came out. They had to basically take me in because they wanted to make sure I was on a suicide watch basically because they wanted to make sure I wasn't going to do anything to myself because they didn't know, with all this, just finding that out and then me going crazy, they were like, okay, we need to bring her in. So with that, I stayed in the hospital like maybe 3 days. They put me under sedation for the first day just to calm me down and to kind of explain everything. And the second day, when the nurse was coming in to do the vitals, to take everything, the blood work and all that, when this one nurse came in, and I still remember the time too. It was like, yeah, it was around midnight. She came in and she said, I'm just here to take your vitals, Barbara. Are you hungry, thirsty? Here's water and everything. And I was just kind of like in and out, in and out. And I said, I'm okay. Just laying there. Like I just felt like just okay. Even if she asked me how I'm doing, I'm not really doing, doesn't matter. In my mind, it wasn't matter at all. And then she said, she looked at me and she was about to walk out because she took the vitals and everything. Then she looked at me again and she's like, something's pressing on me to tell you something. Whatever you're thinking in your mind right now, because I know that a parent of yours passed away and it is really hard for you, but I want you to know, and this is just something that's coming to me, to let you know that whatever you're thinking about doing, don't do it, because you're the parent would not want you to do that. And it's just like you're kind of like this diamond in the rough. It just popped in my head. It's like you're a diamond in the rough and it's gonna be okay. So three times hearing that diamond in the rough. And that's why I named, my brand and the business that I do is called Diamond Factor LLC. And I always tell people that, everybody, and I know everybody might not, like all women might not like diamonds. And I understand that, you might have a gem, you like certain gems, but I know that resonated with me because of what was going on in my life. But I just want women to know how important they are. And, if people are going to say things in life, because that's just how life is. I mean, people are going to say, they're not going to agree with you on everything. They're not going to like what you wear, what you look like, what you say, because a lot of people say, well, Barbara, you'll never become a speaker. You'll never, write a book. You'll never do anything. Well, all the things that you named off, I've done. You worked hard at it because I had to keep believing in it. And I had to say, you know what, forget that. I'm going to do what I feel like is best. Now, when you're younger, it's a little bit, you're still learning and growing into it. But I always grab a hold of those three times when, they told me I was a diamond in the rough, because to me, that was a sign of hope for me. And I want a sign like that to be a hope for all women in the world, because we deal with a lot. And I just want them to know that they have to start understanding who they are. And that's why I said the PPD, your purpose, passion, and drive. Because when you can stand on that foundation, knowing who you really are, knowing what you should be doing, knowing your values and your gifts and your talents, I feel I don't care what anybody says, like they say, if you want to say the storms of your life, the hurricanes and everything, that you stand on that. You just stand on that PPD.
What really hit me when you said valuable. We're so valuable, each of us, in our unique purpose. Do you feel that you have, I mean, yes, there's the accomplishments, writing books and speaking and the things that you've accomplished, which we hold with so much pride. But to be living on a daily basis, living your purpose, do you feel that you've found that, being the one that can speak that truth into women when they're struggling, when they're going through their pressure of the diamond journey?
Yeah, because we're still gonna go through, because there's gonna be your stories in your life. Like right now, I'm dealing with we deal with things in life. But the one thing I always remind myself is, okay, Barbara, what is your story? How is your story? Whatever you're dealing with right now is going to help another woman in her life. So I always feel like I'm obligated to tell my stories or tell the struggles that I go through, or, just to say no. Because when I hear a lady say, I don't think I'm this, I said, no, you're not. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're wonderful. And I know they probably look at me like, this woman is crazy. Why does she keep doing this? Because I know where they've been, and I don't want them to ever feel that way, even though, like I said, I know, now we all know, you're going to have some days. I have days. This last week, I lost two people, two relatives, and I was feeling down about it, because those were, people in my life that I'm going to miss. But even with that, you have to keep yourself and keep those affirmations I always tell people to do. That's one of the things I do when I teach the women in my coaching program, is really lean on those affirmations, even if you don't feel it, even if it's like, that day you might have a day you're like, I don't feel like I'm beautiful. But no, you're beautiful. I am. Even if it sounds great, like, I am beautiful, say it. Because like I said, if you keep saying it over and over again, it's going to go into I always say, your spirit person, your mind, your soul. It's going to stay there, because it's going to come out eventually when you're dealing with things, and it's going to remind you of who you are. So yeah, I always feel like I have an obligation to women, because I want them to be their best, because I want them to know who they are, because they are to me, amazing, awesome ladies. And whatever you do, we all have our own uniqueness. And that's what I'm saying. When you find that uniqueness, hold on to it. Hold on to it because it's awesome.
And the hidden potential that can be in there, I think, especially for any woman, to the idea of a magnificent gem, a giant diamond or a jewel being buried somewhere. I mean, I'm sure they're all throughout the world, everywhere,
Yeah, yeah.
uncovered. But what a tragic waste it is of potential. And so I feel you, and I feel the same, that it's no, we need to find that. We need to dig. We need to get there. It's been buried. It's been pressurized. It's going through this treacherous journey. But the value of each person, and you touch on something that I think can't be taken away by external circumstances. So if you go through something that is tragic, like grief, or disease, divorce, whatever it may be, some significant loss, when you hold your identity as something that is unbreakable and so valuable, then it's okay to be both a diamond and an incredible, beautiful soul, and also experience the myriad of emotions that we go through as human beings. So it's not personal. It's not I'm a failure because I'm sad or I've done something wrong and then now I'm being punished by some external force. It is that a friend of mine said recently, I am unabandonable. And I thought that was really beautiful. So I like to speak to the identity of each woman. So we talk about PPD, purpose, passion. I want to talk about how you ignite passion in your clients. And you have this incredible, joyful personality. What are some of the things, what are some of the things that you encourage your clients to do to continue to have that vibrancy, that passion? And what are some of the things that you do for yourself personally to keep yourself in that space?
Well, what I use, well, it seems like it always goes back to my center mission, because one thing I love to do, because I have a Facebook page, which is called the Diamond Factor Experience. And a lot of people say, well, Barbara, I don't see you that much talking. I see you doing your interviews with the ladies, and I see you putting on shows, ladies putting their show under your group, but you don't really do too much talking. You just do the interview. I said, because what puts a smile on my face, if I can lift up and put in the front the expert of women that are out there that people don't even see. Now, I say that there was one, because I've been doing a lot of interviews lately with a lot of ladies and with their businesses, or just something that they really believe in that they want people to know that's important in life. This one lady, she was 60, yeah, she's 68, and she came from Japan. Her name is Juko. So this particular morning, I was getting prepared to do her interview, and she wrote a book of memoirs. And she was like, Barbara, she said, I don't really do video that well. And she had an accent, which was lovely. I love people when they have accents. It's so pretty. And she was just, talking to her, accent, but I was understanding her. And she was just, just looking kind of scared. And I said, you know what? First of all, before we even because it's pre-recorded, so it's not like it's live. I want you to feel comfortable with you. So I took her through an exercise, and I just said, I just want you to say, you know what you wrote is leaving a legacy for so many people. You just don't understand the lives that you're touching through your memoirs. Because she just wrote this book at the age of 68. And all this time that she's been living in this world, and this is what we're talking about when I'm talking about that it's so important for people's value to be seen, is that all this time she's been in this world, because she came from Japan when she was the age of 12. Her parents brought her over. And she went through a lot of different things. And her grandchild asked her, why are you writing this book? And she said, because I just feel like I need to finally tell people my story. And even the son did not even know all of what she dealt with through her life as a teenager. I think she went, she was a refugee for a while. And then she, at older age, she had cancer twice. She saved a lot of other women from, from Japan to come over to say, okay, it's okay to come to America. So she was really like this pioneer woman that no one even knew about until now that she decided to write her book. So I'm just like, oh, me, because I get excited when it comes to that. And I was just like, Junko, do you know that you are just this pioneer? And then all of a sudden she went from, okay, I feel more better now, Barbara. I think I can talk. I think I can do the interview. I'm like, good, we're going to do it. And then it's funny because some of it she didn't know I videoed because I really wanted to bring out that rawness of her telling her story. Because I know she was a little timid, but then we were talking and she didn't know we were getting recorded. I could see she was feeling comfortable. But she didn't know that. I was like, yeah, I got you. And it's funny because after I told her, she's like, ooh, you're good. She's like, I didn't even know you were doing that. I said, because people need to see you shine about what you've done. Even your grandson didn't even know how, I know you were his grandmother and he loves you, but he didn't know that you was this warrior of a woman, So she at the end, we both, she cried and I cried too, because it was just not crying because of sadness, but just experiencing her life through her eyes and listen to her story. And that's what every woman has. We all have those stories. And that's why it's so important to just bring it out so people can see it shine.
To let people see you, to allow people that reflection. What a gift. What a gift. Thank you. Yeah. And drive. Does drive have to do with their consistency, accountability, or to keep going? Because I know once people are on the journey of sharing, whether it's helping others or just expressing themselves, like you say, things happen in life. There continues to be ups and downs. So yeah, is drive about keeping them consistent in their mission? What do you tell them about drive?
Yeah, I tell them about drive. I use it as an analogy of a car, because you have your purpose. You kind of like, okay, I know what I like. I know what I do. And then when you know what you do, the purpose and passion kind of goes hand in hand. Because when you're doing your true purpose of something in life, like what I'm doing now, I'm loving to see the women, open up about their stories and know who they are. So I know that's a purpose. I mean, I'm going to go the rest of my life doing these interviews with ladies if they let me and showing them up, because that's my purpose. I know that. But the passion of it, I mean, I can do it. I don't even get paid for it. That's when you know you have a passion. When you tell yourself, wow, you know what? There's no money right here because this is something that I'm on a mission to do because of my purpose. And then to remind you, it's like the gas in the car to drive. You can't, if you don't have no gas, if you're empty, then you can't move anywhere. Well, I use the drive as, okay, you have to fill yourself up. So I always have to fill myself up by, listening to motivational speakers, reading quotes over and over again. I always tell people, never read a quote one time and put it down. You always get something different out of a quote. I always recommend that to people because I have read many quotes that I love. And it's like every time I read it, I get another different understanding of it. It's like, wow, I didn't even realize that with that quote. I've been reading this quote over and over and over again. But yeah, if you read it slow and let it really sink in, that will fill you up. And that's what I talk about with the drive. It's like my gas that I use to keep pushing my purpose and my passion. And I let the ladies know that. That's why I always say, do your affirmations, listen to a favorite. Everybody has a favorite, maybe motivational speaker, inspirational person. It could be anybody. It don't have to be a famous one. It could be somebody just around your house. It could be your dad that might be 90 years old and they inspire you every day because look at, they live their life and they're still here. I mean, it could be different things, but you need that drive. You need that gas to keep it moving on for your purpose and your passion.
I'm a quote junkie too. I think especially when I was going through divorce, I remember laying awake all night long, just using Pinterest to pin different memes and all the boards of all the different things. There's probably thousands of them, but it was as if each quote was a different step
for you.
For me to land on. I really felt like I walked on words during that time. It was really important.
It helps.
Yes, filling the tank and filling yourself up. Absolutely agree. Magnificent. So you talked about your dad and this nurse and the teacher all saying the same things. Do you
believe it?
It's amazing.
It's still amazing to me. I mean, and that's why I tell people, and I don't mean to cut you off, but
No, go ahead.
just say real quickly, I always tell people, always be open. That's why it's so important to just listen around your surroundings. Because when you talk, well, okay, I hate to say it like this, but when you talk, some people talk so much, they miss certain things. And you never know the symbols or the signs that are happening that's talking to you to where you need to move to another level. So if I didn't really pay attention to what the teacher was saying with the diamond, the diamond in the rough, if I didn't, my dad, he was telling me all the good stuff about me, but he mentioned the diamond and I stopped. That made me stop. And then with the nurse, I mean, this the third time I was like, okay, if somebody got to throw a brick at me, if I don't get it now, then something's wrong with me. I mean, this is third time. It's like, really? Get it, Barbara, get it. But it's just, if I didn't really pay attention and really didn't listen, even in my time of me being in the bed, just wanting to give, because I was thinking about suicide that time. I really was thinking about just saying, you know what, why am I even here? They're telling me I'm no good anyway. They're telling me I'm not about, those little, people say gremlins, whatever they want to say, in your head talking to you. But like I said, that changed, because a lot of people say, well, what triggered you to this, the turnaround? And I said, that nurse, when she pinpointed and said the diamond in the rough, I heard my father's voice through her. And that's what just whatever I was thinking, I was like, okay, whatever Barbara talking about leaving this earth, no, she's not, unless I'm kicking and screaming now, because now I know that I need to be doing something, and it's not sitting here taking my life away, because that is not it, and that's not my purpose. That's not what I supposed to be doing. I said, if I'm doing it for anybody at that time, and it still is for my dad. I said, he took the time and the energy to teach me, to tell me to get my education, to tell me how beautiful I am, to tell me how wonderful I am, tell me I was a diamond in the rough. So as we know the diamond story, it goes through, it goes through the heat, it goes through, the cutting and the shaping and over again, just to make that diamond. And then to also, when the diamond shines, it fascinates all over. So think about it, as you being a diamond or a gem, you're not just reflecting just in yourself, you're reflecting all around the world. And that's what I tell ladies. I said, that's where your stories reflect all around the world, because you're hitting people and they're connecting with it. Now, I mean, I know with our time, but I mean, my other stories, I mean, I tell people, you just hit on divorce. Well, been through a divorce. I was sexually abused when I was 23 years old. I had cancer. I'm in remission right now. It's been 12 years now. So that didn't stop at 17. I tell people, I said, it keep going, like they say. But through all that, they're like, Barbara, how do you still got this smile on your face? I said, because I was holding on to that PPD, that I call it, and my purpose, passion, and that drive. And that drive, like I said earlier, is so important, to make sure that you're putting that gas in, because if you don't, you know how they say about the cup half full, or however people look at that, but you have to fill your cup up, because I have to make sure it's going overboard, so people are getting what's going over out of the cup. Because if it's half full and I'm just like, okay, well, no, that's not going to that's not going to help anybody.
I want to say, no one would, you would never throw away a diamond. So
No.
think of yourself as a diamond. You would never hurt it. You would never damage it. You would only ever want to find things to reflect it off of. I'm doing it like it's a ring, but it's so beautiful. And to listen and to be open to something greater than yourself. Because sometimes we take the battle inside and we say, what's true? The voice, the negative voices, or the voice that I'm trying to, the affirmations, the things. Sometimes it feels so much harder to believe in the positive. It's like, well, which one is it? And I think at that point, to not have it be an internal battle, but to surrender and to have grace and to just come into stillness and listen. And it seems to me that those are the moments when these little undeniable signs come through. I remember a time I came down the stairs in some state of despair. I don't remember specifically, but I have a plumeria tree on my patio, and I've thought they go dormant. I was pretty sure it'd been dormant for a good 3 years and was, well, frankly, just dead. And so I'd given up on it, and it was just only a matter of time till I lugged the big old pot and got rid of the thing. But I came down this day, happened to look out the window, and there was one little plumeria flower. And I thought, well, hot damn, if that thing, if that's not a sign, it's not, it's not all dead and rot and decay and depressing and despair. I just went, okay, now there is something so unbelievably unexpected and delightful. It's so small, but it's just changed everything. And so I love that you point to and listen to and encourage people to be open to listening to those signs of something. We're supported by something bigger than ourselves and that sees us as the diamond and will give us those positive messages. Really, really beautiful. I would love, Barbara, to give an opportunity to anybody watching that wants to get to know you more, that maybe wants to find out if they're a sapphire or an emerald and have the gift of seeing themselves through your lens. And spend some time with you, maybe check out your work. So where can people find you if they want more?
Well, they can find me on Facebook under the Diamond Factor Experience. And also you can contact me at my Gmail address. It's showyourdiamond@gmail.com. I'm also just wanted to really say real quickly, because you were talking about how people don't throw away diamonds. And just to let everybody know out there that's listening is that when you see a diamond, when a lady, wants to show her diamonds, like, ooh, look at the diamond. And they go like this, see the diamond? Or they even push it away so you can see it. Do you see that? You see that? That's what I want. Be like, do you see this?
It's like, you have diamond earrings on. I could.
So I wanted to mention that because that's what I want the women, and because if men are listening to, because they're diamonds too, they could be different gems.
Oh, heck yeah.
I'm not leaving out the men, but just to let you know that we always want to show it off. So show off your diamond in you. Show off that PPD, and that's what I love to do, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. That that's why I want people to understand. We show that diamond. If we can show a diamond, a rock, then why can't we show our own diamonds that are in us?
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for ending on that. Just magnificent. What a gift you are. Thank you so very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you. You're awesome.
Oh, thank you, Barbara. And for everybody, truly everybody listening, until next time, be your diamond. Find your gemstone. Shake it, flaunt it, topless. Maybe you got diamonds in here. Do your thing with so much love. Until next time. Thank you.
Thank you.